How do you know if you're addicted to porn? I mean, is everyone who watches porn addicted to it? Or is it possible to watch it without being an addict? This is going to be the topic of today's video. I'm going to talk about some of the ways you might be able to tell if your porn usage is something to be worried about or something to not be worried about. And before I kind of go into the top 3 ways to know if you have a porn addiction problem, I want to talk about the word addiction. Because there are a lot of people out there who will say you can't be addicted to porn, it's not a substance, you don't go through withdrawal, stuff like that. There might be reasons why on a academic level you wouldn't qualify it or classify it as an addiction, but I'm not really interested in that. And here's why. We're all fine talking about things like digital addiction and phone addiction and social media addiction and addiction to foods and addiction to sweets. And so in my mind, I like to talk about porn addiction in the same way. So just in the same way that we find it useful to talk about digital addiction and people who can't get off their phones, people who spend way too many hours on social media, I think it's useful to talk about porn addiction in the same way, whether or not it's a medical thing or not. The truth is that a lot of people struggle with it and don't know how to quit even when they want to quit. So that's my little spiel on addictions, and specifically porn addiction. Now, what's the first way you might know if you're addicted to porn? The first is if you've tried quitting or you've tried reducing the amount that you watch and you aren't able to. This is one of the best ways to tell, is if you've tried giving it up, tried quitting, and you just can't. That's a surefire sign that there's some issues around addiction, around out of control behaviors, where even when you see the negative consequences, even when you have a motivation to stop using it, you don't feel able or equipped or resourced enough to be able to let go of the habit. So that's way number 1, is if you've tried to quit or tried to reduce the amount that you watch it and you just don't feel able, or you haven't been able to in the past. Now that being said, I think it's important to understand that not everyone who has porn addiction issues will be aware of it. And so not everybody who struggles with addiction will have tried to quit or will even realize the negative consequences. And I know this is true because this was me for many, many years. For about all of college, basically, until the very end of college, I watched porn without realizing that I was addicted to it. I didn't realize there were any problems with it. So here's another way you might be able to tell. They've done some studies to show that the amount of harm caused by watching porn is correlated with specific behavior of porn watching. And the behavior is how much you're looking for variety on the websites. So if you're the type of person that downloads a video and watches one hour long video and at the end of the day says, all right, that's good, that's a wrap, that's all I need, then that's a good sign. Hello. If you're the type of person that when you're watching porn, you have 10 to 20 tabs open, you're looking for new girls all the time, or boys, whatever you're into. If you're constantly looking for variety and novelty, there's a correlation between that behavior and the amount of harm that the behavior causes. And I know this is true for me. I would, for many people that I've talked to, many of the clients I've worked with and people I've talked to throughout the years, we have this behavior of searching around the tube sites for trying to find the best videos to finish on. And it's an endless search that you never truly feel satisfied with. And at some point you feel exhausted and have to give up. Hey guys. I'm on a video.
I see.
Yeah.
Hi. It's beautiful out here.
Indeed it is.
Enjoy.
Thanks guys. So, as I was saying, a lot of people will kind of be searching and have 10, 20 tabs open, looking for the perfect video to finish on, never satisfied with the one they have. And another sign that that's your behavior is if you have trouble watching the same video or same actor or actress twice. And this was true for me. I would spend hours searching for the perfect video. Eventually I would find the perfect person and I would say, yes, finally. And I would finish, and the next day searching again, see the exact same video and be like, it's old, I need something new. That's a sign you might have some issues around porn addiction, or that the behavior you're engaging in might have some harmful consequences. So that's number 2. What's number 3? Number 3 is a little more related to just your life, and that's one way to tell that you might have an issue around porn addiction is in the way that you're relating to women or whatever sex you're interested in. So for me it was women, because that's what I'm interested in. The way that you're relating to the person or the persons you're attracted to can be a real sign of whether or not porn has taken a toll on your mind. And for me, the way I realized this was that I was constantly going out searching for women just to be sexual partners, and that's all I could see. I wouldn't actually be seeing the other person as a person. I wouldn't be connecting with them on an emotional, personal, soulful level. It was just, what's your body look like? Do I want to have sex with you? And how can I get you home? And I know that some people will say, oh, that's normal. You're a young male, whatever. Just because something is normal doesn't mean it's good. And it's also possible to take something that's normal and increase it to an unhealthy level, to a level that is not skillful or not helpful. So I think that would be another sign. Hello. Another sign that you might want to look out for. So those are my 3 levels, 3 things to check out for that might let you know that you're addicted to porn. 1, you've tried to quit, so you already know it's a problem. I don't have to explain that. You've tried to quit and you can't. That's a great way to tell. Another, the type of behavior that you do when you're searching online for porn. Again, if you're looking, many tabs open, lots of variety, you're searching for novelty, that's another sign. The third is just looking at how you're relating to people of whatever sex you're interested in. Are you just searching for people to have sex with no interest in who they are as a person? It's kind of like, what's going on in your mind? Are you just consumed with sense, desire, like sensual craving? Or are you actually interested in the person? So those are my 3 ways to tell. And I also just want to say that none of those 3 are surefire ways to tell. You might not relate with any of those 3 and still have problems with porn addiction. But those are some good ways to get a sense at first. Some muddy stuff, so I'm going to walk around that. To get a sense of whether or not you have some porn addiction issues. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have other ways that you think you might be able to tell, then drop a note in the comments. How do you know if you feel like you struggle with porn addiction? What was it that made you figure it out? Like, what did you start to see where you realized, oh, this is an issue? Well, I should say the 4th one. I don't have experience with this personally, but from the literature, apparently a lot of people struggle with erectile dysfunction. And there's some signs that it's related to porn. So that's another way. If you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, then that would be another way to start to look and say, oh, maybe this is an issue. But I'd love to hear from you guys. So if you have other ways of determining in your own life, is this a problem? Is it healthy? Is it not? Drop it in the comments below. And I just want to say, not everybody has a problem with it. Like I mentioned before, if you're one of those people that downloads a single video and watches that video, and then at the end of the night you're like, wow, that was great, I can go to sleep, and you're not searching for novelty. The key thing is the novelty. It's the looking at, hundreds, thousands of women every night, searching for novelty. That's what really screws with our brain chemistry. So I don't think porn is evil. I'm not here to say it's wrong, immoral, but for a lot of us, just because of the way the internet is structured, causes a lot of problems. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm signing off from Point Reyes. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of nature, the rest of my walk, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace.